guys, welcome back to another episode of Atlas Survival Shelters. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So you know what? Every now and then even I screw up, okay? And I don't think I personally screw up that much, but you know what? If you work for me and you screw up, it's my screw up. And we installed a bunker 2 years ago and we put it out on YouTube. And it's a square bunker, and the person who bought the bunker at the last minute said, I want an escape tunnel on it. And normally on a watertight shelter, we do a watertight escape tunnel, and then the shelter is 100% welded. The difference between a watertight shelter and what I call the culvert is, watertight shelter means it's welded like a gas tank. You could submerge it underground and water's not going to come up through the hydrostatic pressure. If it's a culvert shelter, guys, you can't put it in a high water table. If you were to put it in someplace like Houston, it would just flood because the hydrostatic pressure would find any gaps between the seams and it would force the water into the culvert. But culvert is fantastic. If you put it like California or Nevada, Arizona, Utah, especially Utah, there's thousands of them in Utah. But if you put culvert in the ground, the key is you have to put rock from halfway around the pipe underneath it, underneath the haunch. Otherwise, the pipe could distort. So some of my customers like to put in their own shelters. And if you don't follow my guidance and you don't put the shelter in right, you know what can happen? Two bad things. One, the pipe can disform. It can go oblong or egg shape, or it can flood. And I've seen both things happen. So guys, when you're picking out your shelter, if you live in a high water table, don't risk it. Just go to a watertight shelter, okay? They cost more. You can't bury them as deep. They're not made of galvanized. They're blasted and painted, but you don't have that worry about water coming in. So the shelter we're going to do in this video, we're actually going to repair a shelter that we installed for a home builder. And all we did, we put it in the hole, and we welded it together. We left it, and that was all we did. He came back in afterwards and put in the dirt and concrete over it, and then started to build the house. Well, after we left, and sometimes between him covering it with dirt, a cinder block got placed underneath the escape tunnel. So what happens is there's so much pressure pushing down on something with a sharp point that the earth pop through the culvert and cause it to leak and cause the shelter to get water in it, and the entire shelter has to be remodeled on the inside. So the client or the customer called me and said that her shelter had water in it and she hadn't finished her house and it had been sitting there a while, and could I come out there and try to figure out where the water came in from? I'm like, oh God, what happened? So we went out there and I sent my guy in, and you'll see in this video here in a second, he went in and you can see the cinder block punch right through the pipe. So no problem. I went ahead and made her up a watertight pipe. We went out there and welded it, and I went out there and I videoed it so you can be educated what to not do when you're doing the culvert pipe yourself. And the thing is, don't put anything like a rock or a boulder or a big dirt clod or anything right on the seam, right on the edge of the pipe, because the pressure from the earth pressing down on the pipe can punch it through the seam and break the seam on the culvert pipe. So you know what? We all live and learn. I've never seen this happen before, and if I would have made a video sooner to tell people not what to do. But this is how life is, guys. You live and you learn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by showing you the video that I sent my guy out there to inspect the shelter, and then I'm going to show you the video where we dig the sucker up, we dig up the bunker, we take off the culvert pipe, we put on the new watertight pipe, and everybody's happy. Okay, so guys, I'll see you at the end of this video.
All right, Ron, I'm not sure what you want me to do, but I cannot fix this in just an hour or two. I don't know if you can see that or not, but somebody put a cinder block underneath this escape, and it caved it in and broke that completely in half. That's where all this water's coming from. Not just this weld that needs to be done. This entire thing right here is going to have to be dug back up and replaced.
So this is going to be the, that's going to weld to the bulkhead, and this is going to be the escape tunnel on that 10 by 30 safe cellar. And as you can tell, we've done a sandblast on it, and there's some sand still in there. But everything at Atlas gets blast before we coat it. Otherwise, this incredible 150-year paint that people talk about will not stick to the metal because it has nothing to adhere to. So when you fill that, it's rough. It's like sandpaper. So we do what's called a sweep blast on this, and that guarantees that the paint will adhere to it. And they even went inside and blasted the inside. Painting good now. Well, it's not really a paint. It's a rubberized coating. An escape tunnel on a bunker that doesn't have a watertight round pipe escape. That's what it kind of looks like on the inside right now. That's in the on the escape side, on the bottom side. I'm gonna take out this culvert pipe that somebody put a cinder block under, and it punched a hole through it, and put in a solid steel escape tunnel on this particular bunker. Taking this apart, this is 2 years old, and they came out like nothing because they're galvanized bolts. So this is us doing a warranty repair. Somebody put a cinder block, after we left, they put a cinder block underneath that corrugated pipe, and the weight of the earth actually pushed it through the seam of the corrugation. You can't do that. Or you can't put a rock, you can't put a cinder block, you can't put anything hard, otherwise the 200 tons of weight of earth will just punch it right through the seams of the steel. So live and learn. This is the air system on the Atlas survival shelter. So this is when we're doing a repair on the escape tunnel. So you can see how the air's going to come in over there. And that galvanized pipe right there, it comes in there, it goes uphill. So that pipe's on a slope right there. It comes uphill, and then it goes down into the bunker, and it turns in. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got 5 90-degree turns to attenuate your gamma radiation. And that's very important. You can't just run a PVC pipe out the roof of a square bunker and expect to attenuate anything. It's a joke, it's wrong, it's just not right. Wait, kick it out the other way.
You don't want it on each corner?
Yeah, you're gonna do it down like that?
Yeah, because it's going to pull in.
All right, that's fine.
Because it's not flat steel.
And it's gonna put lifting eyes on the 2 corners so the excavator here can take the sandbox off with the sand in it, dump it, then we'll put the box back on later with new sand and cover it with visqueen and a tarp. I get off that ladder now.
I want you to get attention on the chain.
All right.
Let me get out of the hole.
Yeah.
Tyler, all these bolts, we'll reuse them.
Yeah. Find something we put them in, like a bucket or something. There goes the sand. It's kind of pressing it. I haven't put it in a dry place so we can clean it. Better do the bottom first. Otherwise it will kick out.
Tyler, is there a big camera over there? Toss me out. Just work your way up. I've got the very bottom. You're right beside it, right up. There you are, be able to keep it. Got mine. Lay on the ground.
Well, you apparently got one still in there somewhere. Don't let it fall on that plumbing.
All of them got. On my side, all of them out on your side. That big cowboy got in the back.
Got it. That's what caused the problem right there. Somebody put a cinder block right under the end of the culvert pipe, right on the seam, and it busted a hole in the pipe. So we're going to put in a new escape tunnel that's all steel, watertight. We're going to weld it all the way. The weight of that pipe, the weight of the cinder block on the corner of the culvert busted it out and crushed it on the seam. See that? It pushed it right through it. So you can't put a rock, you can't put a cinder block, you can't put anything that can't mush or will not conform to the shape of the pipe under culvert. That's how you bust a seam, and that's how they flood, and that's how they get the leak. But you see, there's a little seam right there. It just ripped right on through. He's getting the center block out of there now. And that's what caused it right there. Now we're going to torch that off, and we're going to weld on that solid pipe one there and get this fixed.
fucking underlay. That is his name, right, Chad? Yeah.
So, as you can see, it didn't take long. Literally, we did it in one day. We dug around it. We changed out the pipe, put in that new pipe. Guy did a beautiful job welding. But guys, make sure you put proper compaction around the pipe. And it has to be a number 57 engineered rock. Okay? Or, if you have tight walls on your shelter, you can do poured in concrete. Concrete is incredible to put around a bunker. Matter of fact, when you Google bomb shelters, okay, or when you Google like Atlas F missile silos, this is what you see. See all these pictures here? What do they all have in common? They are all round culvert pipe, and they were all put in 1960 to 63. And guys, 50, 60 years later, they're still there, and they're fine. And why do they look so good? Well, the government has all the money. So they literally will encase the pipe in concrete. So they don't move, they don't change shape. Water, hydrostatic pressure doesn't get to them. I wish everybody had the money to do that, but a lot of people don't. So what they do is they put it in the ground, they put the crushed gravel around it, and you got to have at least 22 inches on each side, and you got to compact it about every 6 to 8 inches. And if you do that, your pipe will last and it will be strong. So I hope these tips and reminders give any of you guys that are trying to do a shelter for yourself what to do and what not to do. So guys, I hope you enjoy my video today. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, and I always hope you are, make sure you like and subscribe, share this video, and hit that little bell up there to let you know when my next Atlas video comes in. But guys, as always, I love you. I'll see you on the next video.